building.
A building. I don't know what they're called now.
It's a thingamajigger.
Filling my playlists.
Filling your playlist.
I guess I have a playlist about brainfuck.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, it's one video. It's a comprehensive what works with brainfuck. So I don't actually know what uses brainfuck. I think it's a web thing. By the way, it's a programming language.
Brainfuck?
That's the
Did you get
simplest.
a quick chance to look at the Gallows frequency, by the way, James?
The what?
The Gallows frequency, that the game that Dusty made.
I haven't played it yet, no. I played Mass Effect, and then I was editing Mass Effect, and then I got exhausted and slept for 2 days, and then I started editing more Mass Effect. So yeah, my life has been Mass Effect. Also, I'm looking at the flow, and we've been live for a little bit now. There's the flow.
Yes.
Looking at the side screen.
Looking at the side
There
screen.
we go, yes.
I'm gonna get you guys up
Oh,
on it.
yeah, looking at the stream, and it's Mass Effect.
Because, goddammit, I have Mass Effect, so we're gonna have Mass Effect.
Fair enough. So I might as well say, in that case, and welcome everyone to episode 37 of the Game Won't Play Itself podcast. I'm Will McKellar, aka Lard Teamaker. Joining me, as usual, this side,
Yep.
up in that corner,
There you go.
that corner there, it's James Atkinson.
Hi. Hopefully you enjoyed the pre-game banter.
And then up above, directly up there, is our other co-host. It's Hergelman.
I will.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well. Also, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Hergel Man.
Because are we all ready for almost like a one-game show to this week?
I wonder what we're talking about.
Well, it'll be you two mostly, because I'm just sitting back here just having a nice little doze while you're talking about it. But yeah, we've got the news. We have what we've been playing. We have any shout outs. We might have a guest if they contact us during it. So you never know, we might have a little bit of something different to happen while we're playing.
Yeah.
And while we're talking. But yeah, and also we do have a Patreon. If you do want to help us out, and this is not compulsory, it's completely optional. Go to patreon.com/TGWPIS, and you can add a little to help us out, get it bigger, better, faster, stronger. Even if you don't want to pay that much. So yeah, so how's your week's been?
There's no S in our Patreon.
TGWPI.
There's no S. It's TGWPI.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh,
It's fine. I was like, I'm going to go look at it again and double check our page because I should do that. Because that's what we got to do.
That's what we gotta do. It helps when we look at our own stuff. It helps. Yeah, no. I've been engrossed in another sci-fi open world video game. Because that's my life now. That's my life. Just open world sci-fi games.
I binge things. Very, very descriptively, yes. So let's talk about what you've been doing, James.
Sure. Since the one news story ties very heavily into what I've been doing.
That's exactly why. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah.
reason why.
So you can go do the news story and then what you've been
Right, I've
playing
been
straight off,
playing.
There we go.
And conveniently enough, the news story is about Mass Effect Andromeda's facial animations, which right now it's conversation happening. Finally somebody has kind of stepped up to kind of explain a little bit about what is going on and what had been happening with all the animations. And they made a Twitter moment, and it was I'm just pulling up his name because when I opened up the show, I deleted everything. Good job, James. Jonathan Cooper, who was the principal lead animator for various Mass Effect games, mainly 1 and 2, and also now works for Naughty Dog, where he was the animation director of Uncharted 4. So somebody with some credits underneath his belt. Basically went through explaining and stating that, well, Mass Effect's kind of saying that where there is fault to be laid at the feet of some of these people, it's not truly 100% their fault, because a lot of the more minor kind of, well, I guess that I'm not a programmer. Luckily, we have one of those here. That a lot of the decisions to be kind of made about what what writer or various people are doing and talking about at the time are based on an algorithm. So like the higher end cinematic, the more story driven scenes are being pushed by, and usually were animated probably by animators, where a lot of the more insequential dialogue and side quest dialogue, because of the amount of branching conversations that could be had, was more pushed down to an algorithm just to kind of add in various facial twitches and generic talking. So where there is some he was basically saying, so a lot of the time you can't 100% blame the animators or the or the actual programmers, the people who did like the nitty-gritty work behind it. Instead, you really blame the publishers, both BioWare and EA, for trying to push the game out before it was 100% polished. Especially given a AAA title like Mass Effect that had been in development for 5 years. It could have probably used a bit more polish, because now, Will, you may know this. How long it was? Witcher was like a 7-year development, right? Witcher 3?
Very possibly. I don't know exactly for that, but I know it was a while.
I know it was a
because
while.
normally you're looking at big AAA games, they do take at least 4 years as a cycle to actually be in development for.
The shortest AAA games are usually about 2 years, and that's we're looking at like the Call of Duty, where they factory format it and they're not building terribly on certain things. They're kind of building it off time.
Right, and the fact that is just, as we were discussing earlier before the show starts, like when they started Andromeda, they transitioned from the engine that they had used in Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 to EA's Frostbite engine. So they had all the tools and everything that they had built up over the years of developing those games. I would dare say the decade that they spent developing the various Mass Effects, all those tools had to be rebuilt from the ground up in Andromeda.
Also, Wild Hunt was 3.5 years.
Really?
Yeah, with 240 in-house staff and 1,500 global.
So I wasn't too far off, I guess.
Yeah,
I like it. I overestimated a little bit, but yeah, I guess it all depends as well how big the team is working on it, because you're looking at hundreds of people for it. That's gotta bring the development down. Because I mean, you look how long they normally take to do like Grand Theft Autos.
Rockstar,
yeah.
Rockstar takes his time for everything.
Yeah, Rockstar has that mentality of, we will let you know when it's happening, what's happening when we're good and ready, and not before.
Team of
and I like that
developers.
idea, because that way they have the hype, but they don't overhype it, because then they just let other people hype it up for them.
Right, and you can kind of see, and once again, I feel like I brought this news story up because I was really excited, saying, look, somebody's actually not saying something absolutely horrible and hate criming people who actually worked on the project. But, and as we've discussed, as somebody who's been in the game now for a little while and has played into it, you don't get used to the animations, but the dialogue itself in like the areas of dialogue are kind of, well, it's not that. It gets better, and it's probably because, like, I mean, like, It also could be because it being a Mass Effect game, the front end is very kind of story cutscene driven, so you're kind of forced to like watch through a lot of cutscenes and go through a lot of that issue. And now that like things have kind of opened up, it's kind of like, okay, like where I'm at now was like, by the way, the only thing I've been playing this week is Mass Effect. Should just pair that in there with you. The only thing, you're kind of getting like, okay, the universe is starting to open up. You're starting to be able to go to different planets and do things. The planet that we're seeing right here very much remind me of. It's starting to kind of remind me of like a KOTOR, in the way that it kind of feels and kind of with the way the story's progressing, where it's like you're given a map, you're dropped into a world, you're given a map, and it's like, here's your story mission, here's kind of where you get a bunch of your side quests. They're all spread out across the map. Go explore and figure things out, and various things kind of happen to you, and various things kind of go about as you run around on the map. And where some people may find it a little boring, I've been enjoying it because it's a pretty game. It's very pretty when you're not looking at Alec Ryder's face. It's just the traveling and like the combat, because like you could be walking through and just like enemies drop on you from above, and there it is, and you have to start going with it. It's an enjoyable game. The crux of it, the actual gameplay mechanics are solid. I've had a ton of fun with that. The story, I know some people have kind of said it's been campy with the dialogue. I like it. I like it a lot because it's where Mass Effect, and even most recently with me playing Horizon Zero Dawn, there was that kind of gritty darkness to the story where, like, you're Atlas carrying the world on your shoulders, and like you have to do this because you are the chosen one, Anakin. Whereas Mass Effect, this one, the shit's gone bad, but your character kind of attacks it with a sense of optimism that isn't there. So it's kind of like the JFK era space program. We do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. And to really build on that, and it makes things a lot more fun. Also, some of the guns are really cool. I got as you can see here, I'm actually using one of the Remnant weapons as an assault rifle. That's basically just a persistent laser that just shoots out over a long period of time and just overheats. So what's nice about it is infinite ammo as long as you're managing your heat cooldown. So the fact that I'm running a running gun biotic commando with a shotgun and a heat laser is pretty sweet.
So basically, then again, you just if you fire in bursts rather than just hold it down and just wait for it to just overheat, then you should be good. You should be good to go.
True, and the fact is like since it's a consistent damage type thing, so as long as you have the beam on target, it's doing damage.
Yeah.
So my tactic has been is either fire in bursts, or fire it till it overheats, swap weapon over to shotgun, biotic my way into melee combat, shotgun until my shotgun runs out of bullets, then swap back to the assault rifle, which is cooled down at that point, and then beam them again. And at that point, you rinse and repeat that strategy, and most things have died at that point.
Yeah, because I was watching Holly B stream it, and there's that bit where you can do the transport. You can basically teleport yourself to where your enemy is and just take them out that way with a melee shot.
Yep.
Which looks pretty cool. But to me, that potentially is could be overpowered. You think as the weapon?
The thing is though is that being exposed and out of cover in this game is deadly. So like, yeah, you can like jump in melee right into a guy and kill that one guy, but if you didn't plan your flank right, 3 of his buddies are standing there with their guns trained on you, just firing at you, and then you need to worry about getting the hell out of dodge. It's also it's not a primer. It's one of the combos that sets off kind of the ability combos. So most cases, so like if you time it right, you can have somebody set something on fire, and then you do that in there, and it kind of detonates it and causes more of an area effect damage. So planning that out is a lot better. So for me, my normal go-to combo is I throw a singularity. If I get a bunch of the squad trapped in the singularity, I will biotic punch as I like to call it. It's like a Falcon Punch, but with biotics. My way into the group and detonate it and blow them all up. If I don't get them and I just get one, I will concussion shot, which is just the ranged soldier shot, into it, detonate the combo, and still stay in cover.
Yeah. It's good that they've kept that from the previous ones, because I know there was, you had options to experiment, but it looks like the dialogue tree seems different. It doesn't seem like there's a complete paragon or differences between right or wrong, good or evil. It doesn't seem that there this time, which is a bit weird.
It's kind of the best way to describe it. It's not like nice shepherd and asshole shepherd. It's kind of like, I think that there's four trees of dialogue. There's a compassionate, logical, confused, or kind of like bumbling, and then like intelligent. I'm misnaming them, but Ryder kind of talk, and the thing is too, like, Ryder kind of talks like a human, and he has some of the later lines of dialogue actually kind of work in a sense where, like, Shepard was always kind of like, I'm tired of your disingenuous insertions, and punches a person in the face, right?
Yep. Reporter.
Or just hangs up on the council just all the time. Just click. Thank you very much. Ryder has
approved stores. Always approved stores.
Yeah, he does approve of stores. A lot of stores.
Because he's all about the dollar.
Exactly. He's all about the shameless plugs. That's what Shep.
Because how else is he able to fund being an intergalactic sex pest than with deals and shops? Because he had to get his money from somewhere. He wasn't getting it from from N7. He wasn't getting it from
Cerberus or the Spectre Council.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he had to get it somewhere, so he had to give advertising.
Hashtag sponsor us, please.
Hashtag sponsor us. We are TigWhippies, and we approve of insert your product name here.
And now I want to take a moment to talk to you guys about Crunchyroll.
Audible gives you one book free every single time you sign up.
Taste the rainbow.
If you sign up for Amazon Prime now.
Iron Brew.
Hey, are you buying something from Amazon?
Promo code CritRoll. I repeat.
If you're buying something from Amazon, please hit our link and you can get. See, we're ready to chill.
We're waiting on you guys.
Yeah.
We know you're lurking in the shadows behind the numbers. Various companies. We know.
He's watching, always listening.
Of course, it's corporations.
We've heard it all on Fox News. It's fine.
People love indies. Remember,
in their microwaves.
Yeah, because we all know microwaves have cameras.
And not microwaves.
See, when I first heard it, I was like, "Oh, yeah, you can use microwaves to spy on shit," because I only heard it in passing. But we're not going to go into this. We're we're going to stop this right now.
If you want to hear if you want to hear this discussion, you can sign up for our Patreon, and we will totally talk about this on the post game show. You can hear the fun stuff.
Or will we?
Oh, it gets crazy.
Yeah, it gets crazy. I remember.
Also, hello, Kim. I didn't see you jump in, and I apologize for being late to saying hello, but hello.
See, I said hello in chat. I was on the border.
Yeah, no, I'm flipping through shit, so I like zero attention to our actual page.
Yeah,
I was trying to figure out. Okay, so while you're using your jump jet, the way you angle, it looks very procedural, and I highly expect that's the case.
Yeah. So,
but I do think here's the thing. It's a challenge for me because I think I know what program they used. I think I know what it is, and I think it's Ikinema.
Maybe. Now, mind you, when you see me use my jump jet, you see the vertical, but then you also see the horizontal, correct? Now, the horizontal is a different button. That is the dodge command. The dodge command, basically, whichever way you're going, motioning, is the way you'll dodge in a set distance that way. Also in the air. Whereas the jump jet, you jump, and then obviously it's your prototypical double jump.
Yeah.
So, also, it's just really fun to do all the time, because instead of just running, you actually are doing something, and you can jump. Though I do have to say, like, out of all the Mass Effect games, this has by far the best running animation.
Yeah, but there's this weird dancey glitch that's on there. It's just like...
yeah, but you're not like Commander Shepard, who's doing like the... Because, come on, or like the head waggle. Come on, this was Shepard for a little while, for a long time.
Oh, the old D'Lo Brown sort of head waggle.
Yeah, the...
Because you expect him to have a thing, but you have a neck brace in there.
Well, it was like, it was like the any of the old Batman suits where they actually couldn't turn their necks. So Shepard had the 3-part, like he had it. The backstory they don't tell you about Shepard is that he actually was involved in a horrible vertebrate accident and had the 3 parts of his neck fused, so he doesn't have full range of motion with his neck. So he actually has to move his shoulders to look anywhere.
That's because the Normandy was rear-ended.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and he had whiplash effect on it. It was just
I mean, he died. When they brought him...
That was literally the plot point of the second game.
Yeah,
intro.
He died. They brought him back, but they had to fuse his neck.
They brought him back wrong because they didn't want to spend enough money.
Shepard, didn't you die?
Is that yes?
It also explains too when he tries to look and his neck gets really weird and angled as he does something
That's why, and this is one of the extras of Mass Effect 2, was Shepard actually endorsed the ambulance chasers that you get. Because he was in an advert.
Better call Saul.
Was your spaceship rear-ended and it wasn't your fault?
Were you blown up by an intergalactic species that worships the worships a god of machines that are slowly going to kill your entire race? Please call.
You or your loved ones may be entitled to a benefit.
This is a class action lawsuit. You should call this. Not available in Nebraska.
Warning: this commission is for info purposes only. You might not get money paid in, maybe more.
You may not talk to an actual lawyer. Call here for legal advice. May not talk to an actual lawyer.
Call centers are in America.
Legal advice may not be good advice.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, with Mass Effect Andromeda, so far, do you agree with the internet being all arsey and with the controversy, the animations and the dialogue, or you just think? Or are you on the verge more on the dev side and think, just calm down, just let everything be fixed. Yeah, it may have been released a bit too early, but it'll be fine. Give it time.
I have 2 opinions on this, and mainly because this game kind of came out in a point of time where I have been playing a lot of dark and gritty games. So the fact that it has a little bit more of an upbeat style, I was kind of ready for it, and I was happy that it kind of came out. But so I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the story. And if you're a sci-fi fan, you've always enjoyed a little bit of camp in your space operas. It happens. So the fact that it's not humanity's on the brink of destruction, shit's gone real, we need to fix this, and it's not all dark. The fact that the cast is you can see them start to be this dysfunctional family that slowly gels together, but is still dysfunctional. I think one of the best ways to describe it, and the fact that the reason why I really kind of enjoy the quirks of this game, is that one of your human characters, Liam, walks up to you and says hey man, morale could be an issue here. He says, and he goes, yeah, okay. He's so what do you want to do? He's I have a perfect plan to deal with it. He's what? He's movie night. He's what? He's like, movie night. I want you to download the worst horror movies that we brought with us from the Milky Way galaxy, and we're all going to sit down and watch them. So there is a side quest for you to go back to your ship and download, because you have Pathfinder access, all the shittiest movies so that your crew can have a bad movie night. Like, that minute attention to detail shows that there was a lot of care taken into the game. Like, those kind of moments. But at the same time, if we're having these discussions about animations and glitches, so somebody signed off saying that this thing was good to go, and
they should have just held off. They should have went, okay, we'll take another 2 weeks to a month delay. Yeah, we'll take the shit for it, but we can go, look, if we come out and went, yeah, the animations that we saw at a late stage before it went gold were off, and we just want to sort them out so you get the best game possible.
You would have gotten internet backlash, but you wouldn't have gotten as hard of internet backlash as you do have right now, where people are basically like calling for the animators' heads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing, because it was that line, isn't it? It's like a delayed game. It's from will eventually be fixed.
It was from Yoshida, the president of Nintendo. A delayed game can be fixed. It's another type of game is bad forever.
Yeah.
A rushed game is bad forever.
Mm-hmm. I do also want to say, breaking news, that our guest for this week, we are postponing him to next week, because it means he can run later. Okay, just been talking, so that's been multitasking.
I've been multitasking as well, not on anything useful, but that's a different story. I'm with the devs on this somewhat. I mean, I do think that there came a point where someone signed off on it, like James said, but there's also a point where they should have gone, okay, guys, give us like 2 more weeks and we'll focus out these. And I mean, like, it's not going to handle everything, but if they're using, from what it sounded like, from what James was describing, it sounds like they were using a procedural generation thing that combined it basically lip read the voice pieces. And what they could have done was they could have gone back and they could have fixed their blend shapes. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of Animation 101 right now. There's 2 ways to animate a face. I mean, there's a few ways to animate a face, but there's 2 major ways to animate a face. There's one where you use bone pieces. So the mouth has like 6 pieces along the lips. You have the eyelids as basically 2. The eyes have little dudes that move and all of that. And then there's blend shapes, which is you make the head 50,000 times and it morphs to the shapes that it needs to. And that's a fairly common way to do it. So most procedural generation, I believe, is based off of that, not based off the bones. If you're doing like 1.5 billion years ago, my face rig, when I was doing old pup in a rice bowl with what's his name, Gilbert Gottfried's voice, that was all based off of a bone structure, where it would try to match points on my face to that and then move it around that way. So Kim did a thing. So that system itself, if it's using those base animations and it's looking that bad for the base animations, they can go back and clean up the base animations, and that can take a much shorter time than trying to go through and rebuild all the animations bit by bit by bit by bit by bit. But it's a thing. It's a thing. I do think that a couple more months would have given them the ultimate release time, because the game, from what James is saying, it sounds like the gameplay itself, there are some bugs, but they're not horrifyingly game breaking, and they're not incredibly like immersion shattering.
No, and the controls feel solid and smooth.
Yeah. So it's not like the game itself is bad. It's just that there are parts that are hard to move past because they're so integral. And as far as bugs go, games launching with a metric fuck ton of bugs it's kind of a thing. In development, ultimately you will almost never have 0 bugs. It's just a matter of what is the acceptable number of bugs you can have before you release the game.
Well, again, Gwen on the Dialogue show, which again, blatant plug for Chris Light's podcast, but there you go, shameless. But she was on the
When are you coming
website.
back on, Chris? When you coming on, Chris?
Yeah, when you coming on, Chris? Come on, come on. When you coming on? But when they were talking about this, and it's like she was saying that there are some bugs and some glitches you don't find until it's very, very late in the development cycle because they just don't appear until that late. And that's what she thinks this is. Which they can't. Again, should it have been caught? Yeah, should have been caught. But
well, the question therein lies is like, are the animations like just slightly bugging out because of things? And I don't think that is, because for the most part, animation doesn't typically go awry terribly system to system. I mean, you'll get weird things. You'll get things that are system specific for animation or random occurrences of bugs. We're looking at you, New Vegas. But
Bethesda games mostly.
Oh yeah, Bethesda.
Don't you play the roulette of what bugs are going to be in this game of Fallout?
But I was in the pre-show. I did mention that there are acceptable bugs that can exist that don't detract from the game at all. For example, the skyrocket from the giants in Skyrim. Early off, get clubbed by a giant from an overhead and you die. You get launched into space. That's something that's jovial and not really game-breaking because, one, you're already dead. And then 2, it's hilarious. So there's things people will leave and just like pass it off. Like if that makes it into the final release of the game, that's fine because it's not a big deal. And there's all sorts of things. The other interesting things are when bugs turn into features. This is a very meta episode. When bugs turn into features, the best instance of this is Guns the Duel, which was a Korean shooter MMO. Very interesting. Now, the bug itself the game itself was you were supposed to have a sword that you can, run around, you could block some shots and whatnot, you could slash people. And it was all cool. You had a dash with the sword, and then you could tumble with the guns. And I think their goal was to make it like a sort of kung fu movie / gangster movie type game. And it's an older title that I think Guns 2 is out now. But the bug was you can interrupt all of your everything pretty much, and you'd have characters bouncing off of walls and shooting guns while slashing their swords at the same time and blocking. And bouncing around the screen. It was like watching a little butterfly just go like flutter around, just kind of hover, except you get shot. So it was interesting, but that was the core mechanic of the game after a little while. Was that?
And then there's the other one that's the game that was started out as just basically a piss about. And that was Goat Simulator.
Mm-hmm.
Look how much of a buggy mess that actually is.
I mean, the game literally was just a dude slapping shit together. So it wasn't a game, even. I think he ran it as a joke and then actually got it funded and didn't think it would happen. And it was just like, well...
So let's just roll it. Because, I mean, look how bad that game actually is.
So bad,
even if it's just... I mean, it was a game I played for about 45 minutes and then just went, yeah, I'm bored of this now,
And that's probably what it's meant to be. Played for 45 minutes, you get a laugh, and then, shit, I'm done.
Yeah. And it's... But yeah, it was good for, like, one session, but would I go play it again? Possibly. It's not something I'll rush out and go, oh, I must play it again, because even though I saw some bits were really funny and you just couldn't remember what the hell to fucking do to actually make this stuff work, like going into space, or turning demonic.
I'm going to hold on 1 second. I'm going to cut you off right here, right now, and say thank you, Kim B, for being our very first Patreon.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I didn't want to break your guys' stride, but I have
Oh no, I'm shattering that.
Yeah, no,
I'm shattering
it's a thing. It's totally a thing. And Kim can I've told her like how would she like to be recognized and what would she like dictated to me because she's number one. She is quite literally number one.
Numero uno. The best fan that we have. I also need to get you a link to my Discord.
And we thank you for that because that's awesome.
I don't have a link to your Discord.
Only patrons do.
Oh, that's how it's gonna
wow.
be.
Wow, that's remember this?
No, it's fine. We have the Tig Whippies Discord. We have
I hang out in that one more anyways. This one is more for doing community things for the.
I direct call him anyways if I want to talk to him.
Yeah,
he'll be in his he'll be in that Discord, and I will call him and drag him out of that Discord because that's what I do.
James, keep saying it, make him feel uncomfortable.
No, it's fair. I get it.
I mean, I bring people in if they want to join on chat anyways, but like we use the Tig Whippies chat for the Borderlands to begin with because I mean it's anyone can join the Tig Whippies chat.
Anybody can. Yeah, no.
Anyone can join the Tig Whippies chat.
Yeah, because we want to be inclusive. Let's bring people in. Let's have a good time.
That's the community chat. That's for like everybody talking. That's Doggo.
That's Doggo. Doggo's our mascot.
Doggo is our mascot. We love Doggo. We can't. I don't think I could play Borderlands now without Doggo.
No, we need Doggo.
I
mean, we can. We'll be more efficient at it. Not gonna lie, Doggo. We love you. You procrastinate a lot.
But
you are beautiful.
But here's the thing with Doggo. Like, would we be more efficient? Yes. Would we have more fun?
Saying that's the difference.
It would be different. I'll say that. It'll be different. I don't know if we'd have more or less, but it would be different.
A different kind of fun?
Yeah.
We wouldn't get love sonnets.
We wouldn't get love sonnets, no. There's actually only 3 people in here. Oh, I do need to get you guys in here. I've been meaning to get you guys in here because I procrastinate worse than Doggo.
You want to talk about procrastination?
I'm just gonna pick on you, buddy.
Let me see. When's the last time I released an audio version of the podcast?
Not today.
Not often.
January 19th. And that was 20. So 10 episodes ago, guys. 10 episodes ago.
Yeah. So we need. So we're 10 episodes behind on the iTunes now.
But we're up to date on YouTube.
Hey,
for the show.
See, you get them like box sets on iTunes.
Yeah,
SoundCloud, you know.
Mainly because all the people who listen to us on iTunes are English, so they just politely tell me that I haven't posted in a while, which means nothing to me unless I'm getting threatened by gunpoint to release something.
You will release this, and you will put it on the iTunes now.
See, what happened, and I'll give you everybody a little behind the scenes here, is that we used to record this and post it to Twitch, and then I would have to upload it to YouTube. And when I did the uploading to YouTube, it's when I normally edited the audio. But when I figured out that I could stream to both YouTube and Twitch, and that was at YouTube, I just had to release the video, and I didn't have to actually edit it at all, that's when I realized there had to be a whole nother step to make the audio thing happen. And we all know about me and extra steps. It just
we have to remind you. Yeah, we have to remind you. So, have you done this?
Or you just need to get me where like it's 2:00 in the morning. I don't work the next day and I'm bored. Because that's usually when things get scheduled and done.
So, is that all you've been playing as well, James? This week?
Yes. Yes, that is. I played Civilization 6, but
sure.
because this is going to be fun. This is going to be a thrill ride for you. Right, so let's get this stuff underway, shall we? It's been a lot of stuff, mostly between Horizon Zero Dawn. I've been sort of slowly making my way through this, but I'm about 34 hours in now. I'm at level 28.
Okay.
And so when I'm playing it, I'm playing it in bursts of like 4 or 5 hours, it seems, in that bit. But I'm not doing fast travels a lot. I've probably only fast traveled 3 times.
Simmer.
So, hello, Simmer. but so in that respect, I've probably been actually spending a lot more time grinding out, levels, because I've noticed when you're killing the machines, depending on the machine, you can get about 500-600 XP a pop.
Wait until you get to the bigger machines.
We mean like the rock breakers?
I'm talking about the strong jaw, like the really big Tyrannosaurus Rex looking ones. I think I killed one of those and got 5k.
Well, because I faced the rock breakers today for the first time, because there was that level 32 area, the corrupted area that you have to just basically take them out and just get that back. But no, it's like 10k a pop for both of them, and you got a pair of them down there, which I had to like face them twice, because the first time I was facing them and didn't realize there was a shell walker coming up behind us and killing us. So I just die suddenly. I'm like, what the hell happened there? Did you see this shell walker behind us lurking? It's like, fuck you, shell walker. Fuck you. Thank you very much, you ass. I'm getting into the story now. The story's kicking off with little twists and turns, because I'm in the big major city in Meridian. Opened up a shit load of there, and the last story mission I did was into the Borderlands, which I would say brother and sister, because now I can see you nodding because you know exactly what I was on about. That little story bit there. So I finished that today, but I'm trying to do it where I do errands, side quests, maybe some of the cauldrons when they appear when I get around there, and some side jobs sort of thing. But in terms of waiting for the hunting stuff, that's waiting. I'm waiting until I'm done with that, because I don't want to be dealing with that shit during the game, because it's just still pointless being there. But this week I've really enjoyed it. I've really gotten into it. I mean, I don't play it every day, which is a shame, because it's really good. But because of there's other shinies around that sort of taking my distraction, so I have to try and prioritize almost what I want to play, it seems. Because the other game I've been really playing a lot of, and it was partially down to Geo streaming it and saying that I need to be ahead of him so I can actually jump into his streams rather than have it spoiled, is Nier Automata, or Automata, whatever way you want to say it. From Platinum Games, I can't say it's a third person view, but the camera angle changes, so it goes from side on to top down to behind the shoulder, and it's open world ish. I say ish because it's not as open as you hope or expect. The story is weird, because it's like aliens have invaded Earth and took over Earth and was basically running amok and almost threatening to destroy humanity. So humanity goes up to the moon to sort of lick their wounds and try defense and try do something to actually take Earth back. So they create these androids, and that's when you play. You play a character called 2B, which, yes, it is like a pencil, and the guy who created Nier was basically ripping the piss out of that on the day it was released, with pictures on Twitter of pencils. So that 2B and 2H, it's just, the guy's mental. He wears this sort of papier-mâché head mask thing, or helmet thing, and in the UK there was a character in the 80s and early 90s called Frank Sidebottom who used to do that, and he reminds me of Frank Sidebottom, wherever way he is. And so, yeah, so there's that. Control-wise, it's good. You know, there are other games that I've played this week which are a lot worse, which I will get to. Story-wise, there's a bit of banter between your characters, your character and the one who's helping you. 9S.
So there's a real missed opportunity there. You could have 2B and then N2B.
Yeah. Yes. I made that joke in Geo's stream. I did go for that one. It's like, you know, they didn't miss a trick on that one. They really did. So yeah, so you can get different quests. The quests are quite silly because you've got this, like, you're looking for this robot's sister that went missing, trying to find the spare part because the sister you talk to, who asks you to go find her, is a bit ill. You know, it needs repairing. Something needs, you know, replacing. So her sister went off to the desert to find it, and now hasn't come back. So you got to go find her. And it is an escort mission, which, to be fair, isn't too bad. You know, it's fairly straightforward. You don't have to wait constantly for it to stop. But on the way back, she starts asking you awkward questions like, how are children made? And so it gives your side character a bit of he gets really embarrassed. Like, I don't know because we're androids and it doesn't happen. So you got this machine asking about sex. It's really weird shit going on. But so yeah, I can recommend it. It's up there with Horizon and also Resident Evil 7 so far for games of the year. Next, right, let's have a look at what else I've played. Not going to say much about Zen Pinball. Just carrying on, same as usual. Disc Jam, right? So I played a bit of Disc Jam this week because we was going to play some stuff with Rocket League, but the servers on the night that the new mode hit went down after about an hour. So we put on Disc Jam for a bit. And during this, we had two people just come into the chat. And one of them went, okay, I'm going to give you an offer. I want to face you one-on-one. If I win, I leave the chat. But if you win, you get a follow on Twitch. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Because obviously my alarm bells are going. So I wasn't fully trusting this one. So I went to get the profile. It was like 16-year-old. I'm like, okay, if I do this, he's going to wipe the fucking floor with me. Because, you know, his reactions compared to mine these days are just going to be, you know, night and day. And he had a friend there as well. So basically what they did, we had the 2-on-2 with Boo. And did they wipe the floor of us? Kind of. Kind of. They do need more modes in that, though, because there's just not enough. You know, you've got one pit, one court. You've got just one mode of like singles or doubles. It's just, yeah. So they need more on there. So I am looking to add this as a regular thing in June area. But yeah. See, like Simmer, his reactions are, well, he's dead. He will struggle with it. So, but speaking of Rocket League, Dropshot is completely manic. Now, if you don't know what Dropshot is, it's basically a case of so you've got your two sides of the pitch. Now, it acts in a way like volleyball, because you have to if you keep the ball up in the air, keep bouncing up in the air, it charges the ball up. So when it hits the ground, it creates these hexagons on the floor. Hit it again, hit the ball on the floor again where the hexagons are, creates a hole, and that's how you score. And the bit they have on there at the moment is 3v3, and that's manic because you've got all of you going for the ball at the same time. There's no teamwork. There's no sort of try and pass it over to you to try and slam dunk it down to create shots. There is just no skill, it seems, at the moment there. It's just pile on and just bounce the ball around.
So you're saying it went from being soccer to football.
Yes.
Sorry, I should say soccer to rugby, which is instead of just there being a coordinated effort to do something, and they have the beauty of the play, it's just a bunch of guys piling on each other into the ball until eventually it goes into one of the end zones.
Yeah, kind of. That's pretty much a good analogy for it. It's fun. I tried a one-on-one with Boo on it as well, because you can do that in privates. Yeah, I really should need to check that out because I haven't yet. And that's me. So Boo just says no, it's just football. Because we don't call it soccer. Because it's football, damn it. It's not handball. Hand throw ball. And then we also
oblong thrower.
My name is... Oh, you've got that gentleman. What's his name? Tom Brady. He stands back there and throws the ball to the people, right? The gentleman who run down the field and tried to catch it. Silly kind of game.
And he throws the ball forwards.
Forwards?
He's supposed to go through it backwards. I mean, really?
Or laterally.
That's just not cricket. Literally.
That's just not cricket.
It's not, damn it. Hey, there is a 24/7 cricket channel here.
There is.
Willow Cricket. I do watch it. Oh. I understand cricket.
I don't.
It's
bat, ball, hit, ball.
I don't watch cricket though, so it's not like it's not like I've taken a moment to try.
You have
I've spent 0 time watching it. I have seen one swing. That is it. So I just know that it's a lot. It's almost golf-like in the swing. It's the one thing I've seen. It was a very low swing. That's it. That's my cricket experience.
You have X amount of swings to get X amount of runs. Then,
okay.
Then the other team has the same amount of swings to either beat or exceed your runs.
But that is a limited overs match. That's not a test match. Because for a test match, it's 5 days.
Yeah, it's 5 days.
You have to play it. So it's like, it goes.
And it's your overall score at the end of 5 days.
Yes.
And test matches are usually in international matches between countries, where most of the regular matches are just the other kind of style.
They do have county matches or test matches as well, but you don't see them as on the bigger stage like TV.
I'm sorry, Willow shows the South Pacific area, so you see like New Zealand, Australia, Iran, India, Pakistan, the Philippines playing each other. So they're usually the higher level matches.
Yeah, because if you show more English stuff, you probably see the county matches there. Yeah, so getting back to Rocket League. And teamwork, right? We were playing the community night last night, and
I was there for a little bit.
I slept.
Yeah. I think we were sleeping because we absolutely sucked. We just couldn't hit the ball for shit.
All I saw was you really, really high up on the wall, going for like a good 4 minutes. Not really, but like a minute and a half. I didn't know what you were doing. You were just like, I'm going now.
I'm here now. This is my life. This is my life.
My new team needs me. Let's go.
Spider-Man.
Pretty much, there's no control. It felt like the ball was off. And then thinking, well, you're just blaming something else. It's just you were being shit. It's like, well, probably was, but
that doesn't change how it felt.
True. Is your name Curtis? No? Then when you say it's shit, it's not sandbagging. It's only Curtis is the one who sandbags.
Yeah, it's luck. It's like, no, Curtis, it's not luck, were you? you got like 10,000 rabbit's feet around somewhere because you've still got the luck.
He's just got a parka made of rabbit feet.
That's all he has, and it's like, my pretties, it's time for me to do well on Rocket League. He rubs them.
No, I imagine he's like wearing like just like that overly stuffed fur like rabbit foot coat with like the hat that has him like dangling off the edges. It's like he like takes his controller out of a specialty made box. As like the choir of angels calls upon, is like, no!
He has cufflinks that are just golden horseshoes.
Exactly. He has a hat.
He has a hat like an Aussie hat, but rather than cork around it, he has rabbits for reaches.
And it's got like 2 4-leaf clovers sticking into the headband of it. And it's like an angelic choir, and like as he takes out his controller, and you hear, "And now the Rocket League shall commence."
I shall leave it in the arms of the RN Jesus.
And the RN Jesus.
And then he closes his eyes and kicks everyone's ass.
And then Tommy starts playing. Dude, because obviously Rush plays when anybody does something like that, because freaking Rush. Yeah, so that's how Curtis plays Rocket League. True fact, 100%, 10 out of 10. 100%.
That's how he does it.
Simmer, a brace of a brace of a brace and of a brace of conies. So like, you're stacking that on a lot.
He just has this whole room of them.
He's got bundles of braces of conies.
Oh my.
Oh my, indeed. And so, a couple of other bits, because I'm not going to say Hearthstone, even though I did play that. Yeah, that's just Hearthstone, and it's I get my ass kicked, because everyone has better decks than I do. I finished off Star Wars: The Force Unleashed today.
I got those copyright claims.
I tried cutting off
Have
the
you
music
beaten
at the
my
end of the
number
credits.
yet?
No.
It's probably only 1 or 2 in this one, isn't it?
Probably.
Because
And I did it this way, not the other way, so...
I hate The Force Unleashed. I absolutely loathe this fucking game.
Kim, we need to talk a little bit here, because I just saw that donation button pop. Why? Thank you, but you did another thing. Thank you. We know it's working because of you. Somebody's in a generous mood tonight.
I'll say thank you. So The Force Unleashed, right? Now, where I left it last week was the fight with the Star Destroyer, as you know, because I remember you nodding when I was saying how shitty this fight was. I bit the bullet and put it down to easy to beat this fucking thing. Because on medium, it's just no, it is horrible. I beat it second attempt. Then I played finished off the rest of the game. I had to go again, put it back down to easy because there's real problems with this game. It's like if you're aiming to use the Force on something or use the electric part of the Force, it doesn't focus on the enemy. It doesn't focus on stormtroopers all the time. It focuses on the debris that's next to them. Or during a fight, when you're trying to focus on something, it spins the character around so you're facing the opposite direction, so you're getting shot up to shit. And what the hell is the story on that with the Emperor and Vader? It almost feels like a complete rerun of Jedi. It's just, please, this game, if you play the first on Star Wars, The Force Unleashed, you may end up hating other Star Wars games because of this shit.
You may be happy with the fact that it is no longer considered canon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Kurtz was saying in chat earlier, and it's like, yes, I am very happy that isn't considered canon, because it just makes no sense now in the universe where it is. None at all. Just quickly, I played more Mafia 3. I've actually got somewhere on there, but my big major issue with it now is the main story mission I'm on. You have to take down 7 lieutenants to get to the big mafia boss in there, Marconi. But these missions, these story missions, feel like side missions that they're trying to force you to do, because you have to get informants to go to get these lieutenants, and to get the informants to help you, you have to do certain things. So it splits up again with 2 more henchmen you have to take out before they talk to you.
And then you must kill the orc in the shadow of Mordor to get to the next chieftain, so that he may provide you a chance to attack the next chieftain.
Yes, yes. But it feels just like side bloody missions instead of just the main story. It just doesn't fit, you know. Because I've got plenty of side missions to do off stream. I've still got plenty of like pictures and Playboy magazines and all those bits to collectibles to find yet. So it just feels wrong. It just feels like they just couldn't be asked making a proper story missions and just sort of stapled them in. So yeah, I'm getting disillusioned with Mafia 3 because I loved Mafia 2, and that was the big reason I bought the third one, because that was, to me, that was really good. And then the final game I played this week. Now, I have to do full disclosure on this one because the person who made this is a friend of mine. His name is Dusty. And it's the first game he has made and released in quite a while, let's say, because I don't know whether it's a few years, but it has been quite a while because of personal issues. And it's called The Gallows Frequency. Now, it's a basically pay what you want. So it is an indie title, so it is a low price game on the scale of things. Now, basically, the premise of the game is simple. You wake up in a room that's connected to a maze, and you have a radio on the table. And for some reason, the protagonist has decided to put something into your head so you can hear the voice that seemed to come out from the radio as well into your brain. So you're having this voice in your head, and basically it's trapped you in a maze that you have to get out of, and there's a monster in the maze that's trying to hurt you and hunt you down. Now, also in your head, there's this sort of noise that this voice is pumping into there, and the faster you move, the less the less you hear it, the less it affects you. Because if you stand still, the screen wavers, and basically distortion happens. Now, I don't want to be a dick about this, and I'm possibly going to come across as it. And so, to me, the game itself doesn't feel finished. It feels like it's in alpha to me. Now, that may be just because I've been more of a console gamer and starting to see some of the other games on Steam that you can get for really cheap. That might be why the quality to me doesn't look like it's there. Now, I mean, the premise of the game I like the fact that you're being chased down by the monster, but graphically, I was speaking to a dev friend who tried it yesterday, and they said graphically the walls look just like there's a picture stapled onto it rather than a wall. I mean, gameplay wise, someone I spoke to earlier in the chat, this is really random. I was in Holly B's chat earlier. Actually, no, it wasn't Holly B. Sorry, it was Devolver Digital. And some guys went up to me, Lord Teammaker, I've seen you on the credits of a person's game earlier today, which was the same game because I'm in the credits, which is quite nice. I didn't expect it, but that's a nice little bonus. But the monster, to me, I couldn't run away from properly. I couldn't, hide and then just go round and divert myself around the monster and get away that way. It just seemed to me like there was one direction that you could, heading towards the exit once you've got this key to get out of there. And to me, that's a disappointment. It just feels like if it just has a bit more polish onto it, it would be a pretty nice game, a pretty good game, But, as I say, try it yourself, see what you guys think. Because, again, that's just my opinion, but he's working on another game that's coming out, so you have a look at that as well. But yeah, pay what you want for it. It's called The Gallows Frequency. James has posted a link in the chat on Twitch.
If by James you mean Hergelman, then yes.
Oh, yeah.
Also, just a heads up, everyone. Some people may get a warning saying that it's like spamware or something like that. It's fine. Just run it.
Yeah,
it's just a game. It's Unity with no. I don't think the program files have anything like in them, which is why it's freaking out. Because it looks for like a certificate, and if it's not there from the launch, from its build, then it doesn't necessarily know what's going on. So it's just don't worry about it. It's good. I have it running right now.
Yeah, it's because Windows 10 seems to like doing that sort of thing, doesn't it? It's like we're going freaking out. So, I don't recognize this. There's something wrong here. No, don't run it. Then you have to give more information and just run it anyway. So it works. It's fine in that respect. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. I don't know whether he's planning on doing any updates for it or not. I hope so, because the idea there is pretty sound, as I say. But that's pretty much what I've been playing. Chris, what have you been playing, matey?
All right, this is where things get a little interesting. I have. Let me swing back over to double check the title of the game. That it's not The Forest. I've been playing that, but I've been playing a little bit of all sorts of things as of late. Obviously, I've been playing some Binding of Isaac. I've been doing that as a daily thing, just because it's really easy to roll through, and it's just a lot of like repetitiveness. So keeping a daily stream going, which having released daily videos was a nightmare. Doing a daily stream isn't as difficult, but it is still not the easiest thing in the world, surprisingly. So Binding of Isaac, a little bit of that, and a large amount of The Forest as of late, and also Drift, or The Drift. That was the one I'm trying to find. I'll talk about the Drift first, because that's a relatively short discussion. So, the Drift is basically just a space exploration / mining / be a pirate game. It's a sandbox in space where you have a spaceship. It's sort of like Rebel Galaxy with a lot less structure to it.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I do like Rebel Galaxy a lot more, just off of the intro bits. The controls feel better, but Drift is in early access, so I'll give it that caveat.
Does it have the audio quality that Rebel Galaxy does?
It does not have Blue Serenco as their musical performers, so it's zero comparison.
Yeah.
Just.
Nothing ever hit the mood of the game so well as that soundtrack in Rebel Galaxy.
Oh, and do you know the first time I actually heard that song, the main song for that was on TNA, because it was AJ Styles' entrance theme in TNA.
Yep.
Like, I recognize that. It's like, oh,
yep.
Okay.
I'm a bad man. But it's fun. It is fun. It's casual. It's something I could find myself playing a lot, just kind of like in my off time, just because there's a lot of time consuming to it. It's not hard by any stretch of the imagination. Fighting other ships is stupid easy. You basically line up, you joust, and then you play chicken with the bullets. Like, that's it. It's not hard. And then if you turn around fast enough, you can just follow them and just shoot them down, and they won't be able to turn around fast enough. Like, it's a very simple, easy game right now. I can see if they tweak it right, if they make changes correctly, I could see it going a lot further than Rebel Galaxy. The trade is a lot broader. There are a bunch of ships already available, just like right out of the gate. I don't know what, like, I haven't gotten much further in Rebel Galaxy, I'll be honest. I need to go play that and play that a lot more. But between No Man's Sky and checking out the new No Man's Sky stuff and all the other stream things, I don't have enough time. So I usually stop work around 4 or 5, and then I have 2 hours to myself, and then I stream, and then I have like an hour to myself. But and that gives me so much not time for other things too.
Hey Ron, how's it going from YouTube?
Do you know what I want to see though? I want them to actually do another Colony Wars game, because they were brilliant. Like Colony Wars Red Sun was really fantastic because you had this ship called the Red Sun that was getting really. It was a really powerful thing that you had to take down. It was just sort of growing and growing the further into the game it was. So I wish they'd remaster those.
I want games that have more. That's the end of that statement.
I want games that have more.
And actually, I'm working on a game. It's going to be hard and it's going to be obnoxious.
And it's
going to be the biggest game, best game. And
you're going to make them pay for it. Thank you.
Although, Mexico, if you want to buy my game, and if you do want to pay for it, I'll be more than happy. I'll be more than happy to do that. I will be very thankful. So, like, in these space games, the thing that I note the most is that you're often limited to owning a ship and buying a ship, but not so much building onto your ship. Now, here's the thing. I have a game on my wish list that I got to tackle and grab probably in my next set of paychecks or after I get the new rig. That includes a building system for your ships.
Which game is this?
Off the top of my head, my brain doesn't remember because I have 50 million games on my wish list. My wish list is as large as my library. So.
Yeah.
Which, just an update. I haven't put all of the, oh shit, I did. I breached 500 games.
Okay, God so Ron Brennan asked us from YouTube, because we have YouTube up, you guys are talking about sci-fi. He really wants more stealth games like Dishonored or Thief.
Oh, that's something I need to tell you about then. In this project that I'm working on, stealth is a viable method of approaching problems. I need to build an entire stealth system around this, and it's going to be obnoxious to build, but I will have to do it slowly.
But it's going to be the biggest stealth system and the best stealth system.
Biggest stealth system, best stealth system. China's not going to have a stealth system like ours.
No. We're gonna beat that one to death. I swear. I tell you what. I tell you what.
So the project that I'm working on is basically I want to build a survival game that isn't exclusively science fiction. Like how Ark is sort of not really science fiction, but doesn't have any like real fantasy bits. I mean, it's more or less science fiction with dinosaurs. But like you have games like Osiris, The Forest. You have games like fucking Starbound, which is not a good comparison to what I'm looking for. Just a bunch of these things that like you can build like ships or stuff. You can build scientific based things. I want more directions than that, and I'm basing my entire game off of Minecraft mod packs. So you can have science things, but you will also have fantasy things. So like for your first object type thing, for your first item, when you decide to go down a path for like technology or whatever, or like a level path, you can go and you can get all the materials. You can build yourself like a very rudimentary computer thing, like a data slab, and then you can have that. And now you have like a list of technological advancements you can go through, things to research, things to build that way. Versus you can build a grimoire, and you could go down and find spells and potions and do that. And then you can always merge them together and create your your grimoire slab, or some like your Sheikah slate, basically, where you can access both of those. And that's the goal of this. It's really, really far down the line. I am not even remotely close to having anything playable or even lookable. So don't expect anything in the near future. Just
do you have concept art, or is it all?
No, it's just I'm trying to
the imagination kind of thing, just to.
Yeah, it's the vapors. But I mean, like it's
The
all
Oh, the vapors! I do declare.
Having worked in development for a few different things, I have an understanding of like what's feasible, what's not. With my skill set, I don't need to make a full game personally. I don't need to program everything. I just need to get enough to get interest so that I can go and start hiring the right people to do it for me. That's really what it boils down to, is I don't have the money yet.
And then they can make good facial animations for you.
I don't know. I don't give a shit about facial animations in this, because, I mean, I could literally just make people faceless slabs, and no one would care.
BioWare, you taking notes? You should be taking notes. Take notes.
Yeah, because there was also another game I was trying this week that I can't really say anything about. So I understand that your development bit there, Chris, because QA testing a pre-alpha.
Oh yeah, no, QA testing is the most mind-numbingly obnoxious thing. If you have ever heard of MechWarrior Tactics, there used to be a bug where your heat would just never stop increasing ever. And you would get stuck and you'd never be able to start another match because you'd get stuck in the match. Yeah, try bug testing your way out of that shit.
It's called Control-Alt-Delete, end program, and then delete the Explorer file.
Yep. And then when you move to a new PC, when you try it again, you're still stuck in the match.
It's called power button. Beep. And getting up and walking away. That's how you get out with that one. But
mind you, this is super early too, so.
Yeah. Also in the chat, Ron from YouTube says he does love some survival mode games.
Then Ron, later this evening, I'll give you a link to my channel, and we'll talk. But yeah, I've been playing The Forest a lot, and this is kind of where that came from. Was The Forest? It's not really science fiction-y. It's very like almost realistic fiction, with the exception of monsters. Like, because there are actual monsters, which I found out the hard way, and the slightly terrified at 2 a.m. way. But like, if you drop that, if you drop the few monsters that there are, the game is within a realistic fiction, which is interesting.
You know what it reminds me? The Forest reminds me of Lost.
What? Yes. Like that's the thing. I made a game mode for peaceful, just so that I can just build things and enjoy the environments, because it is a beautiful game. I'm not a fan of the Unity engine to begin with, but just the team made it very lovely, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the scenery. I enjoy the way everything kind of is. So the fact that they have the peaceful game mode, which is pretty much just indulge and don't starve, it's lovely, and I enjoy that.
Ron also said he likes games like Ark or Conan Exiles, but adding story. Though I think some of the appeal of those games is the fact that it's headcanon. Like in the Forest is you create your own story. You kind of build up your own mind. This is my character. This is how I got here. This is what I did beforehand. You weren't sitting on an airplane and somebody said, "Would you kindly call your parents?" And then all of a sudden you set off the bomb that made you show up in BioShock.
Yeah.
What does Ron think of Don't Starve or Don't Starve Together then?
That is an interesting question. I enjoyed personally. I'll comment from what my perspective is, because I'm playing survival games as of late. Because I'm playing these so much, I like Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together. Don't Starve Together. It's one of those, like, depending on what team you're with, you can either have it be like, "Woo, let's do this," or it just goes to hell real fast, real quick. It's real dumb.
Turns into Lord of the Flies.
Why are there 400 bees following you? I wanted the honey.
Though also, I'm assuming a lot of people have also seen their next game that they're coming out with, Oxygen Not Included.
I'm sure a lot of people have. That's coming out soon, actually.
Ron, Don't Starve is fun to mess around with.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So far, my favorite survival game has been Ark. Mostly because the wildlife isn't just meat. It's like, it's not just recipe parts that haven't been killed yet.
You can have poo farmers.
Or recipe parts that you need to breed so that you can have more meat for later on.
Yeah, like, they're not just livestock. They're useful. When I start a game, I almost immediately build a bola and a club, and I go catch myself a parasaur every single time, just so that I have something that'll hold some more weight so we can go get more things. And you get attached to some of these animals too. I had a little Archaeopteryx type dude who I kept on my shoulder all the time until a giant beaver T-Rex duck velociraptor killed me. I don't even know what it's called, but it was big and ugly and it hated me and it killed me and then my little dude, and it hurt. It sucked. I didn't like it. And then Ark broke and I couldn't punch anything. So,
another key staple of most survival horror games: punch to get wood.
Yes, which is not a thing in the forest. I do like that too. Like, you actually have an axe, and your axe doesn't break. That's the one thing I like about that.
I saw when I was in your chat last night, you were asking a few guys some questions.
Who was I was asking plenty of people questions. I always do that, though.
No, you were asking the bad peoples in the game some questions.
Oh, was I?
Yeah.
Which questions?
More like, how do you insert axe into their faces?
Oh,
I was making a bad pun. God,
yes.
Fell flat.
Yes.
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 I was asking. I can't even say it wrong. I can't say it wrong.
Axing?
My mouth doesn't do it. Axing a question.
Thank you. Axing?
Yes.
It's like you gotta be like axe and an ing? Axing?
But yeah, I died my first run already, so I'm on my second run of the forest, and the location I got put in is very interesting. I got thrown onto the beach. Very, very slowly, Breath of the Wild is showing up. I was stuck, almost dying of thirst because I didn't want to run into the forest. You can put that away.
Later.
That's your romance game.
It's okay.
It's for private time. So, I started off on the beach and decided, you know what, screw it, I'll try a boathouse. So I built a boathouse, and I realized that there's actually a large barge you can have. So I built the large barge. Guess what? You need 2 people for the large barge.
That's why you were asking me if I had the forest.
Yes.
How much is it?
Like 15?
I actually just sold an item on the Steam store and got $20 of Steam credit.
Yep, 15. So, James, would you like to join me this evening after the podcast?
Yes, I have to eat dinner and take a shower. And
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, go do that.
Get out of pants.
Right now. Just now.
All right, bye, guys. I gotta go. I gotta go. You always got that one guy after you've been night of drinking. I gotta go, guys. I gotta go.
That was my roommate. Like, anytime he woke up, he would take forever to wake up, and you just at one point he just said, "No, I can't do it. I gotta go." Just in the middle of something. It was funny. But yeah, I built my barge, and then I found this peninsula area that is sheer cliffs on either side, all the way around, and just one massive tree in the back. It's a lovely spot, and it's just empty all the way up. So I decided, This is where I build my castle. So I built the wall yesterday. The biggest wall, the best wall. And I made the cannibals pay for it.
Good.
With their trees. It took a lot. It took a lot of time to do that, and it was obnoxious. So yeah. For your information, when we start in, you're probably going to spawn in. Actually, I don't know if you'll be able to spawn on the same thing. So if we do a co-op, we may have to do a new save, but that's fine.
We'll just build the best barge ever.
We'll just build the best barge ever. But I mean, in general, wherever we are, we may not even necessarily need a barge. We may be in the dead center of the island.
But I want the love boat.
The love boat.
You can call me
build it in the center. You can't build. You can't build the boat in the center of the island. But what you can do is you can push it off and up onto the ground, so you can get into the rowing thing, and it can just push you all the way there.
You can take the boat out of the water, but you can't take the water out of the boat? Yes, we'll go with that.
Sure, yeah.
Nailed it. Awesome.
But yeah, I haven't explored a cave to its fullest. I went down into one of the caves in peaceful mode. Actually, to those of you who have seen the stream, that same cave, the very first cave I went into the first time, the lawyer's cave, I went and I explored that in peaceful mode. And it turns out I need explosives or air tanks.
So
How about explosives with air tanks?
So you need explosives or
air tanks.
Or air tanks. Or I was gonna say Or explosive air tanks.
I need compression or decompression, depending on which path I want to take. Explosives being decompression. So yeah.
Always go for explosives.
Well, I think explosives is going to be a little easier. I don't know what the explosive piece is to make an explosive. I know that a watch and computer parts are definitely part of it. Probably rope as well, to keep it together. But the last part for the explosives, I'm assuming, is either alcohol or maybe something else. It may actually be the air tanks.
Don't you know, for explosives, it's quite simple what you need. You need the black rock dirt, you need the diamond dirt, and you need a bamboo. And then you wrap it together and shoot it at the Gorn. And that's how you create an explosive.
Hey. Listen. So yeah. That's that one. That's the forest.
Is there anything else you've been playing? Because I know you were playing your dailies of Binding of Isaac, haven't you?
Yes. Nothing to report there. I'm bad at the game. It's. I have yet to score higher than 3K. Or as high as 3K even in the daily runs. And the one I did really well with, I don't even know how I did really well with. I think it was because I broke it, and I was able to get things for free a lot. I got an item that when I use it, it duplicates everything in the room, including the things.
Diplopia.
Which was, I think... What?
Diplopia.
Probably.
Or was it a rune? Because it could also be the Ansu's rune.
No. It was an item. It was an activatable. I don't think it was. I don't think I got that one yet. I did get that one though, but I mean, I also, my brain doesn't go for the names. It usually goes for the subtext. But I got two different ones that did that. See, and I had the D6.
I watched a lot of Northern Lion. Like, I think he's done over... So, like, I watch his daily video just out of habit at this point because I like his voice and his zaniness. So, though I am horrible at Binding of Isaac, I understand the combos.
I'm absolutely atrocious. I'm really bad. It's really funny because like I'll have a moment of like just me being quiet and like focusing on bullet hell mode, and like I'll dodge a few things, and then someone's like, "Wow, you're really good at this," and I go, "I'm really not," and then die 2 seconds later.
You get
usually just something really stupid.
You get that moment where like the Matrix starts just going down in front of you. It's like I can see it.
Well, here's the thing: if you watch my Gundamonium, if you watch my, it's not even labeled Gundamonium. What was I playing? I was playing something before that. I played a little bit of League.
I was there.
Yeah, for the giveaway for the Rocket Android bundle.
Baconator! Doggo! He's here!
Doggo! Oh, did he Steam message you or did he?
The Doggo has been summoned. No,
me.
he's in the YouTube chats. He's here.
Oh, he's in the YouTube. I literally just left the YouTube. Welcome, Doggo!
We were just talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't play a lot of ESO.
I don't play any of it.
I have it.
Like,
I've got it. I've kind of turned myself away from MMOs because I'm a recovering WoW addict. So I'm trying to get myself into better games.
I played the Elder Scrolls during the stress testing way back when. And this is my favorite thing, is that I now know something that ZeniMax does. When they don't have a voice for a character, when it's not recorded, when they haven't gotten the lines done, they use Microsoft Sam.
Oh, they use the robot voice like this? That makes me happy.
They use Microsoft Sam. And it makes me so happy because it's just like, well, that's the easiest way to get a voice, so they can pace it out and like, because that's really what it is they're using that as a pacing thing to try and get a span for like how long the text is going to be scrolling through. That's what it is. And oh my goodness,
Ron,
it was so great.
Don't ever play WoW. Don't start.
WoW has been engineered and cultivated over the years specifically to make you want to go back and do it again. Like it's not good.
It's not. It's been like I've been 12 years, man. 12 years with that game.
In college,
I have months, literal months of game time into that game.
My ex paid for 3 months for me, and I binged so hard on it, and I hated every minute of it. And mind you, I'll admit, I'm a hipster. I'm a gaming hipster.
Don't dare him. Don't
be an enabler.
Don't be an enabler.
I tried it because last year when I was part of the stream team, they were on about having a group of us do it, and so I fired it up on the PC, and I was just bored because it's like, yeah, this is like, it's like, I think, what was the game now? Guild Wars. It reminded me so much of Guild Wars, and I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm all right. We're not playing this, and I didn't go back and continue.
No, it felt all it did for me was it gave me a set of goals that were manageable within a short time frame, and that was it. And I just went and I did things. Here was a little thing. You can possibly get this for this much gold, and all I did was I sat and I just farmed the shit out of leather to sell on a horribly broken economy system where leather was like 500 gold. I just wasted.
Well,
wasted so much time doing shit.
They tried to reform the leather system because they said that they were going to bring down the cost of leather subsidies and bring it to more people. But the problem is it didn't work out so well. And they really threw in a lot of weird stuff about having leather subsidies be higher in other places and let you sell leather across state lines. It just didn't work out too good.
James, you're familiar with the servers, correct? Mugthal.
Arthas. That's all you gotta say, man. I know.
Mugthal was the one I was on. That's my introduction.
I was Arthas.
But you were also... Mine was Kata. So it's not like I was in at a good point. I was at the ass end of Cataclysm.
I was vanilla.
Yeah.
I wasn't in a good point either.
No. Vanilla was a fine point. Vanilla was a solid point.
Back when MMOs were MMOs.
Back when they were MMOs and not microtransaction machines.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But those vanity pets, man.
That was all I did was I farmed leather to get the vanity pets, and it was just like, I come back, or my ex would log on and she'd just be like, "What, Chris? What the fuck? Why are you 5 levels ahead? What did you do? I left you off at like 55. You're 62. What happened?" Well, I got a unicorn. And then I would pass out. Mid dungeon, by the way. Mid dungeon.
I remember there being times where it was raid night and I had to use the bathroom. And I would literally take my laptop into the bathroom during the raid so I could continue playing.
I never got to raids, and thank fucking God I didn't.
Don't.
I never reached max level either. I never hit max level.
James, you went full Eric Cartman. Playing the man.
To live to I was there. I lived that. There was nights in college. Like most people would be partying on a Friday night. I would literally have a bottle of Stoli, and it would be raid night, and I would black out before we got to the boss. I would be passed out. My roommate would come home, and I would be passed out drunk in my boxers and bathrobe at my laptop from playing World of Warcraft. Drunk. At like 5. And he'd be coming back at like 8 in the morning. And I'd just be sitting there just like WW, like my character just running into a wall because my hand's stuck on the W key. So don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do WoW.
Don't do it, kids.
Friends don't let friends play World of Warcraft.
So is that all you've been playing, Chris?
Yes. However, there is one other thing that I've noted, and that is a very old MMO. I believe slightly older than WoW. WoW was 2001, right?
Yes. I will do the research while you continue talking.
I'm also doing research for other things. I need to double check that. I believe it is older than WoW.
Because we have had the question from Bacon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nope. WoW was 2004. An MMO that is older than WoW, Anarchy Online, which was my first real MMO.
2004.
Yeah, you were 2004. This one came out 2001. I got them backwards, actually, or not backwards, but I got its year. In 2001, this game came out, and it was done by the same people who did Secret World. And those of you who really love Conan, it's done by the same people who made Conan. So, if you want to go back to their roots and check out an old game, mind you, I'm very biased because I love the expansiveness that it has. It's a little unnecessary, but it is expansive. The game is big. The world is very big. It's a little empty too, though. And mind you, this is in the early days of game development too, so it's not like it's not hitting these peak points to begin with. But the crafting system was what really got me interested in it. And the crafting isn't like, oh look, you go and you mine metal to get to turn into steel, and now you turn your 5 steel blocks and 2 leather into a sword. First and foremost, this is, if memory serves, it's the year 24,000 something. It's very far in the future.
In the year 3000.
The year 3000.
There is a quick question from Baconator. So, what do you guys think is the best class in World of Warcraft?
Tally. Oh, sorry. No, I should say whatever's in the meta right now.
Wizard.
Mage.
Yeah, the mage. Wizard fucking Blizzard has a huge hard-on for mages.
Blizzard has a huge hard-on for warlocks.
Warlocks are demon mages, so it's kind of the same thing.
Have you seen what the warlock gear looked like, like through the ages? Like the head, I will admit, the head designer for like the animation. Hey, look, more animation designers. Said that he actually mained a warlock, and that's why they always got good gear.
And also, how about the best DPS class?
Paladin. Paladin can tank, DPS, and heal.
I'm gonna be the odd man out. I'm gonna say druid.
Druid's just a paladin in leather armor.
Druid is just a paladin with bears. But yeah, so this Anarchy Online it's a very interesting game. Your classes are not your ordinary ass classes. There is no metaphysicist in like any other game I've ever seen. It literally sculpts emotions into things to fight for you. It's cool. He just basically just summons demons. It's just that's really bland. But there's also like the engineer who makes robots, and the bureaucrat who just gives people EXP and like tells people fuck off. It's really neat. It's neat. If you ever want to look into how like older games function, or if you ever are thinking about like the way different MMOs approach things, grab this guy, do a quick download, and play a few minutes.
Cool. Is that it? Is that all you've...
I'm all set. I'm good.
Wicked. Okay, we'll just get to the shout-outs, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. This is a long one. Like, so, do we have any shout-outs at all?
To Kim.
Yes.
Yes. For being number 1 Patreon and number 1 donor.
What?
For being number 1.
Yes, number 1. I think that's it. So when we say number 1, it's just, we mean Kim. You're number 1, Kim. You get the shout out tonight. You also named the show. I have officially changed the title to Guys, I Did a Thing. You have named the show tonight. It's episode 37. Guys, I've done a thing.
So yeah, so there's your shout out to one awesome person. And so basically, the only thing left to say is where you can find us. So you can find me as La Teammaker across the board on Twitch, YouTube's. Even though the YouTube channel, we use it as the game won't play itself. You can see us on Twitter. You can see me on PSN and Xbox Live. And Steam is PSN_La Teammaker. You can find Chris.
You can find me at All Things Hergelman. Hergelman on Twitter, youtube.com/Hergelman, and twitch.tv/Hergelman.
And you can find James.
If you're watching us, then you've already found me.
He's not hard to find.
No, I do everything through the game won't play itself. My normal handle is SpikeSP2579, or in some cases, like on Steam, Tigwhippy Spike. But yeah. I'm usually the game will play itself.
Yeah, you should come and follow us and do all the awesome stuff and interact with us for our streams that we do, and also, just other stuff in general. And that's pretty much it for this week. We'll hope to see you all next week. And say good night and goodbye.
We'll see you in the streams later during the weeks.
And later tonight, I will be streaming some more of The Forest, possibly with James alongside.
Yes, Stratham, thanks for coming in late, and sometimes I do play FIFA.
Yeah, and this week I'll be doing Res, so some of my streams will be cut down. There will be not as many this week. Because I'll be Landan. Doing stuff and play games.
Landan.
It's like Boston.
Boston, hit a hard in the yard in the park.